The water's fine, homie, jump into the deep end. Sow it, you will reap it. We talking how to start it, how to grow it, how to keep it. Take a deep breath. You are now rocking with Founder Secrets.
Hello, everybody. Today we got Panos and Antonis coming from the beautiful 90-degree weather, Greece, and a little entrepreneurship in the Balkans, helping nonprofits with a unique model. But before we get into that, there's a little bit generational gap between you and us, I feel like. And so I wanted to ask kind of what your YouTube favorite YouTube channels are these days, like what everybody looks at. And I can go first. I got into this guy. Taylor, do you guys know this guy named Dan Martell?
I don't know Dan Martell. The SaaS guy?
Yeah, he's this entrepreneur in Canada, and what I really like about it is he's very like down to earth, and he does this boot camp for kids where he brings them up to British Columbia and teaches them some like real life skills. And the way he gets them there is with like muscle cars and kind of, it's all for boys, like teenage and like 20-year-old boys to get them motivated to hustle. And I found it a little inspiring. He's a little older. I can see how you can rub some people the wrong way, but I thought it was interesting. So what about you, Taylor?
I really like this guy, Peter. How do you say his last name? I always say it wrong. Peter Santinello. Do you guys know him? It's like the best YouTube channel. So all he does is go around. So he started in Europe, but then he moved back to the US, and he does these 1-hour episodes where he goes into different places, largely in the US now. So for instance, his most recent ones, the city split between two countries, so it's an hour and a half. This one's quite long, but it's at a port city in between the U.S. and Canada. Half the cities in the U.S., half is in Canada. But he also goes to Catalina Island, which is this island off the coast of L.A. that I've been to. He went and explored the L.A. fires, but it's all like very non-political. So he just goes there and he's just asking people like, what's it like here? And so he walks around with a little GoPro. His wife edits all the films. So has great editing, and he's blown up. So now all the videos I just named, they have between 1 and 3 million views. So when I was first watching him, he'd have like 200,000 views. But it's blown up. His videos on the Outer Banks, highly recommend. That one came out 2 months ago. And the video on Inside America's Space Coast when he went down in Florida was really good. But my favorite is probably the one when he went to Key West, Florida. It is this awesome video where he found these old guys in Key West, down at the very, very bottom of Florida. He's just an awesome listen. Like I could listen to him, watch him for hours. So Peter Santinello.
What about you guys? Panos, Antonis?
I think the generation gap is gonna speak now because first it's I'm crossing on YC's videos all the time, and then I could lie, but honestly, the other thing is, have you heard of the Sidemen? This UK-based group of I've been watching them since I was like 13, 14, and I'm still watching them to this day. They do this every Sunday, 1 hour plus videos of just having fun and going around. And
wait, what are they again? Wait, what was the first one you mentioned?
The first one is YC's videos, which is more like when I'm on my focused.
Oh, like Y Combinator.
Yeah. And then Sidemen.
Well, we definitely know YC. There's no generation gap in YC.
Yeah. I meant mostly for the second part, of course.
What's the second one?
It's called the Sidemen, and it's all over the place. You're probably gonna be like, if you watch a video, you're like, how?
The Simon?
The Sidemen. I found it. Wow, they get a lot of views. So they have a video 3 days ago that has 6 million views. We spent 50,000 of those pounds, euros, I don't know what those are, fake American dollars, on abandoned storage units, and found, so they kind of do like quests. Is that what they do?
Yeah, and they're kind of a friend group for like 15 years now, and they've been doing this Sunday videos again and again for the last 10 years, and I've been watching them since day one. It's like a part of me at this point, this kind of entertainment.
I'm going to watch this today. That's cool. Any other ones?
I guess no. I'm watching a lot of YouTube in the last few months.
What about you, Panos?
Yeah, and personally, I would mention a YouTube channel called Picking Nuggets, which is an excellent representation of some of the best quotes of Naval Ravikant and Nassim Taleb, which are two of my favorite mentors that I try to listen to all the time. And I think he does a great job of analyzing what they have said in a lot of different podcasts and actually extracting the key information insights that give you value on how to live and how to do a lot of like meaningful things. And yeah, it's one of my favorites. Like I have seen all the episodes.
Naval's getting through to the young kids, Flavio.
Interesting, guys. Well, thank you for sharing. Let's get into Givelink. So, how old are you guys?
I'm 23.
And I just turned 24.
Oh, but you just finished college?
Yes, exactly.
What age do you start college in Greece?
We usually start around 19. And in my case, we get an integrated master's. So it's like 5 years. So we typically like finish around 23, 24.
Yeah, I started at 18 and I didn't have an integrated like kind of master's. So it was just 4 years, the bachelor, and then they throw you out in the wild.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. I think some people might say Europe isn't as hard-driven, hustling, entrepreneurship mentality as the US. So I'm wondering, A, if you agree, and B, how did you get your hustle to start a startup in Greece?
Because they're watching Naval.
Because of YouTube.
So look, Europe, I think it's completely different from country to country, especially the big countries of Europe, I think have not the same kind of hustle mentality as the US, but they do have a strong mentality, much stronger than Greece. Greece is one of the worst ecosystems, or used to be at least like 5-10 years ago. But in the last few years, we've been seeing lots of Greeks that succeeded in startups outside of Greece coming back and speaking to the younger generation. Well, I don't think that's what made us start. I just felt like kind of lost. I studied business administration for my bachelor, and I realized that they did not teach you how to do business and how to do entrepreneurship. They teach you how to consult other businesses. And I didn't like that at all. I didn't like the theory. So I'm like, okay, I have this idea. I don't have anything to lose. I'm at the perfect age to try and fail with something like this. So let's just try, because I saw it going very, very big. I saw the potential. So I'm like, I love chasing my dreams. So let's do it. But I don't think that's a typical like kind of thought. People in Greece are very risk averted. Because we had an economic crisis recently, people are very reluctant on starting and taking on big risks, and failure, of course. People hate failure, and this is not yet the perfect environment to start startups, but I think it's changing slightly. It's changing the last few years.
Panos, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with Antonis. It is different in terms of country every time. And in Greece, like the ecosystem is growing a lot. So I really like that they invest a lot in the young generation as well. And I see opportunities, but I think in the US, there are a lot more and a lot of more potential to grow and build something unique. That's why we also try to like take a big risks, calculated though, to perform in an ecosystem where this is the mean, this is the average. Like in our case, we also like born in one small city of Greece. So like we're like an exception in our cities, but we don't want that. We want to be like in an environment surrounded by other people and individuals who have similar ambitions and want and appreciate failure and want to do something big. And yeah, I think the environment plays a lot of role in your potential, what to do in the future. And that's why we want to build, to bring Greece in the US.
Yeah, and I think to add on that, I think Greece is in some terms a good camp if you're like dedicated, if you really want to do something like this. You need to get through a lot of negative thoughts. And this really builds your character. So when you go to an environment that is much more prepared, you're very well trained on how to handle all of these things. And so I think in one sense it's good, but it doesn't nurture a lot of people to do this and to grow the economy. And it drives people off Greece to actually chase their dreams.
Yeah, I don't think people like failure over here either. I don't know what you think, Taylor. People say they're like, oh, failure is good, but that's not true. If you talk to all the investors and VCs, they want to invest in the people who've succeeded before. And if you failed before, they're not like looking out there. Oh, look at you! You failed. Wow, definitely want to talk to that entrepreneur. that's not real. They like to blog about it and talk. It's a nice concept. But it's not actually true, in my experience. They still want to succeed,
Definitely that.
So what's Givelink? Can you guys give us the pitch? How'd you come up with it?
So Givelink is a way to convert every dollar or euro that is being donated into tangible and trackable impact. Because we realize that online giving now, when you make those donations through websites or Meta, whatever, it feels like throwing money into a vague donation bucket that you don't know where it ends up if you actually had an impact. And we see that leads people to donate much less or like than they could or want to. You don't make a sentimental profit out of giving. You don't take anything back, and even this feeling doesn't exist. So this leads, we counted through a survey, the majority of donors, even in the US, they say that they would rather give in kind, so go out and help someone with goods or whatever, than donate online, but it takes too much time and effort, so they just end up spending online every now and then. And we've tracked, and there's a lot of interviews, and now in Greece, a lot of traction. We realized that there is a way to make online giving feel good and you can feel grateful for doing so. And that's by knowing exactly how your money impacts people's lives out there. The idea came kind of in a weird kind of way. I was in a competition in my first year in university. Once I realized that, uni is not going to teach me how to do that. So I went into this competition to come up with an idea about social entrepreneurship. And I didn't know the concept. I only had in my mind, sales and profit. But when I went through that space, I realized that it's so much more meaningful to chase something that creates impact for others, not just you. And if you can tie that with a for-profit model that makes sense and that doesn't deduct this impact, it was what I felt destined to do in this world. So I came up with the idea through this competition, and then I realized, okay, this could actually be something. I don't know how to build it, but I can figure it out. Let's try it out. And then 2.5 years later, we're here with a lot of traction in Greece and now preparing our move to the US.
Well, so neither of you are technical?
No, but we have 2 other technical co-founders in the team.
And how did you build the first, I guess, to what extent do you use AI to build this product? I'm curious.
When we first built it, very little, because those tools were not that, it was like 2 years ago. So beyond some typical GPT searches, not much. We built the first MVP and then we started, changing stuff based on feedback and all. And then now we've really, really integrated AI on how we develop and design the product. So we end up doing most of the work in ideation and deciding on what needs to go out there. And from when we started, it took us a month to build a complicated feature. Now it takes us 4 or 5 days. And it's all, our challenge is to figure out the right infrastructure and the right strategy, both on product and on development. We're both, me and Panos, involved in product, and I started designing the platform before it went live. It has changed by miles so far, but we're still very into taking the right decisions on the product side ourselves.
So how does it tactically work? If somebody wants to give $100, then it's tied. How does it work? What happens to $100? What do they see? What happens?
Givelink is a donation platform where people, instead of giving money, donating money to non-profits, they can directly buy and donate goods to non-profits based on their actual needs. So they can see tangible items like cleaning products, hygiene, equipment, sports, toys, whatever the non-profit has asked the donors to receive in quantities and urgency. And they can directly buy and donate this through their website, or now we're building an API so from the charities' websites directly as an extra button. So they can directly give these items and then track their progress step by step, like an e-shop and e-commerce, where they see where their items are. And when the products arrive to the nonprofit, they also get a photo confirmation by the charity, by the nonprofit, which validates that they received them, along with a thank you message that makes the whole experience better. And we've also developed features that make the whole experience more rewarding, better, from messaging nonprofits to actually gamification, seeing badges, feeling like proud from yourself, from milestones that you achieve by actually helping them, to actually seeing your impact, sharing your impact, collaborating with others to donate and do like good things in the society. And some AI features that like in the future we're like also looking to launch, like charity matching according to your personality, to your personal values, what your interests are, like matching you with the best nonprofits. So our whole idea is to, like as Antonis mentioned, to make every single dollar like into tangible impact, to make donors feel that they helped, see their impact, and to actually bridge the gap between what donors give and what charities actually need. Because there's also mismatch in these things. In Greece, like we did the survey, we saw that lots of people donate pasta, rice, legumes, things that are consumable, but charities have lots of different needs, like diapers, wipers, like toothbrush, people that don't give them usually, but they're essential for their work. So yeah, we started this in Greece and like just now expanding to the US.
So you are moving to the US?
Yes.
When are you moving?
That's a very good question. We had a meeting right before where we were looking at the progress made and what's left. I believe that in September we'll be physically moved and the platform launches by mid to end of August, so in the next few weeks.
So next month, you guys are leaving Greece and coming to the US?
Yes.
Where in the US?
Where do you guess?
New York?
San Francisco. It's a very giving, the whole state is very, very on the top giving communities, and it's very friendly for startups as well. We have some friends and some networks that we've built through our latest trips there, so it really helps out.
Are you guys applying to the accelerators over there?
That's why they're watching YC videos.
Yeah, we've not managed to, we're close, I think, to get into YC. But we already have been selected for an accelerator in LA. It's called Pegasus Ignite Accelerator. And really helps founders move from other areas to the US and really helps with GTM as well. I think that's their main focus, and not just building the right product, but understanding how to get into the market and solving distribution efficiently. And it's really helping out so far.
Wow, that's awesome. I love the excitement because a lot of people are down in the US right now, but it's nice to see you guys be excited to come over, build a company. After doing it, it seems like Greece is a much tougher place for nonprofits. And so I'm wondering, like, how did you even get those nonprofits? You're like 2 kids out of school. Did you just like show up at the nonprofits, be like, hey, like how did you even sell them on it?
Yeah, so the partnership with nonprofits was the easy part in Greece, honestly, because it's a free for nonprofits model for us. So what happens is that 100% of the donations go to items that we partner with a supplier who deliver these items to the nonprofits, and they actually get free items that they need the most. So because that we don't charge them nothing, it was pretty easy to onboard them. And actually, we try to vet nonprofits. So we partner with a charity evaluator, also like give us guidance on the best nonprofits to collaborate with. And it was pretty easy after some communication to understand what we do and actually start the onboarding process. The most difficult part is the supplier partnerships, because in our model, we have to partner with like supermarkets. Now in Greece, we have a partnership with the biggest supermarket chain, which actually like has their items available for donations and actually delivers them to the nonprofits in their specific addresses. So this was most difficult because these like big suppliers generate lots of money. They're like a lot of revenue driven a lot of times. And without a lot of traction, it's tough to actually do these kinds of partnerships. but we also have a social responsibility aspect and giving back to the society, giving something for impact. So after some traction and some like cool hacks we did here in Greece, we generated like over 10,000 in donations pretty fast. And it was actually good validation to start the pilot partnership with the supermarket, which grows. And we're very happy now that like, at least in Greece, we like can deliver to everywhere, every city.
And then they give you a cut? Is that the way it works? The grocery pays you all a commission or affiliate or something?
Exactly. This is our like main revenue model. So donors do not get charged, nothing. Non-profits, nothing. Because suppliers we partner with generate revenue out of these transactions of buying donations, we get a commission back from them, which is the first revenue source. We also have another one, which is an optional tip currently. So in the end of the donation, if the donor wants, they can also help us like make something big and change the world.
That's the Zephy model. That's what Zephy did, and now actually there's like a few other companies doing that. I think they've already figured out that people are actually willing to tip a lot more than you think when donating to a nonprofit.
Yeah, I wanted to add that it's good to prove if you're viable or not to donors, because you're not charging them anything, but they have the right to either give you 0% or 15%. And this has been proven by lots of competitors in the market, and it's proven by us as well. Even in Greece, that there's no tipping culture here, people still tip us like an average of 6% per transaction.
That's awesome. How did you get the supermarket chain to give you a commission? I mean, for them, it's like, well, they would have bought the items on the store anyway. So how did you convince them to give you a commission for this?
It took us a year to convince the first supermarket. Now we have a lot of other types of suppliers wanting to cooperate with us as well. But yeah, the things here are very slow. People think very conservatively. They're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking much at this impact that a partnership with that generates. But after lots of meetings and discussions, we actually managed to get it out there. For the US, we found a much easier solution to start with, learning from the previous. So we're partnering up with a drop shipping platform that is, it just took us like less than 2 months to set up, and we're ready to go until we build some traction and go to suppliers. But I think the biggest keys are first traction, to see that this is real. We're not pitching them our dreams, or pitching them something real. And as Panos said, really focusing on the impact beyond the sales. This is not just a sales channel. This will look great for your branding to be partnered with platform for giving goods to nonprofits.
Who are the dropship platforms?
It's called Doba, and pretty much it's a centralized platform that connects you with many
Doba?
suppliers. Yes, Doba. It's called DOBA.
In the US?
Yes, all over the US.
And so you can connect with them, and they connect you with they're connected with the suppliers already. So they're already making a cut and splitting a little bit with you.
Yeah, and they're selling at wholesale prices, so including their cut. So we're able to add the margin on top of that. And in fact, this margin is bigger than what we earn per like product in the Greece.
Because they have more scale.
Yeah, but the eventual goal is to also go with typical suppliers as well in the US once we prove that we have traction. Because it's not scaling as we'd like it to with the drop shipping.
It's like Doba's website is hitting every trend currently. It's like, hey, ships from the US, like very US focused. Then it shows TikTok, Temu. It mentions AI. It has a feature, like they're literally going after every trend that's happening right now and try to put it all on the website. Like, guys, no matter what you're looking for, we got it. Like, click here.
Whatever the question, the answer is Doba.
Yes, the answer is Doba. What a great domain name. It reminds me of Qdoba, which you guys will learn when you move to the US, is an awesome, well, it used to be an awesome like burrito place.
I think it still exists.
I think it does. They left New York, so they were dead to me. But yeah, they're still around.
I don't even think they're venture backed, are they, Doba?
It says they did $6 billion earned by the drop shippers. I've never heard of this company. How'd you guys find out about Doba?
Panos found about it.
Yeah, so the idea was to find something that we can quickly launch in the United States. We looked a lot of different similar platforms. We also started approaching suppliers, even for some communication to understand what they are. We saw that it's like the number one dropshipping platform in the United States. It delivers pretty fast, like around 3 to 7 business days usually. The products, which is something that's helpful, and also the pricing is low as well. So we have tested it. So like we tested all the platforms, so which suits us best, and with the products available, which are like the ones that nonprofits usually need.
Is the pitch like you'd go to a homeless shelter and you say, hey, people aren't giving you enough money right now. So instead of asking for money, you should ask for the supplies that you need. You know, you need blankets and you need food and all this other stuff. And it'll be free to you, won't cost you anything. And we'll take care of like, I guess like how to promote it, right? So you got to figure out how to get in front of those potential donors. But fine, let's say you find some people who want to donate to the homeless shelter. So instead of giving, maybe they were going to give $20, maybe they would have given $20, but instead, if they're buying goods, maybe they'd spend more money, right? Because it's more tangible. And they'd say, oh, okay, instead of giving $20, oh, I could give, look at this, I could give this blanket. This blanket's $80, or a bundle of 3 blankets, $80. That was cool. And it'll be there on Thursday. They click a button, they put in their credit card. You get $80 and you give 60 of it or whatever to Qdoba, and then they deliver it. And that's kind of the idea. And it's costless to the homeless shelter. But the homeless shelter actually gets potentially more than they would have gotten. Because I'm sure a lot of these places everybody would prefer cash. But your point is, we'll give you more than you would. Like, they're not swapping the cash for betting. It's like, no. You weren't going to get this money to begin with, or you're going to get even more than the person would have given. Is that basically the pitch?
I really like how you put it. Maybe we need to copy that.
You should copy that pitch.
yeah, I really like it. Yeah, pretty much that's the main idea. And as you said, you're not swapping the things you already earn. You are just giving an alternative to your new donors that you can give goods instead of money. That will lead them to donate more and more often. That's the main. The frequency is what we see it changing for donors, because this is much better experience that makes them feel good. And when you feel good about something, you do it more often than something that you just do it for the sake of it.
Oh, instead of giving the $20 one time, you're saying, oh, they're going to get betting multiple times. Oh, I'd give it this month, and maybe when I'm asked again in November, I give it then too. But maybe I wouldn't have given more money in November, but I'll come back multiple times.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we listen, as you said, it's free, and that really plays a big part, especially in the US for nonprofits, because they're swamped with paid tools that you get the $100 and you end up getting 60 or 70 of it. So this free really works for them. And the reason now that we're moving into not just a centralized platform, but also this button on charity websites that says give goods, it works as an alternative option to money. And we want to prove them practically that people are clicking on this more than they click on the money button, because they rather know other money is being utilized. And then the last part is that now we're only small tangible things, as you said, blankets and a small percentage of their needs. But the idea is to expand to any kind of thing that can be bought, even services. So we end up covering the nonprofits would get money, but now you can get the same things that you could buy yourself with that money that you received from a donor. We're a few steps behind that now, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, and I want to add 2 more things. Like, the first one is that nonprofits get exactly what they need the most. So it's not just one product. It's a product that they have requested for. It's the most urgent, the most important product for them, that the donor actually saw it and gave it first. And second, from the donor side, at least in Greece, we see around 60% more donation frequency in our platform compared to the Greece standards. So we see that this validation of seeing your impact, seeing the whole experience we try to build, leads to more engagement, that leads to more impact in the end, which is actually pretty exciting.
Awesome. Last question is, any other tips you learned for getting, like Taylor was talking about, getting people to actually give? Are you guys unlock any secret hacks to get people to give?
It's interesting because Greece is a completely different giving culture than the US. So now we're in the middle of this pivot. Imagine that in Greece, Greece is second to worst giving country in the world for the last 10 years.
What's the worst?
Yeah, what's the worst?
I don't remember. I think something in some country in Asia.
Second or worst? Wow.
Imagine that 12% of the population donates money during the year.
And you launched a giving platform there. That's like playing on hard mode.
And we managed to get like 2,500 people fully organically to donate. So I think that's what led us to, okay, if we managed to get 2,500 people, it's very little numbers, but if we manage to get those people in a year to start donating and start believing in giving again, we can do much better in a country where people already give frequently. And here in Greece, one of the biggest hacks that you said that we realized was that people do not donate because they have to or they feel like this, ownership towards the society that I need to help out. People give when something happens, either that's Christmas or a wildfire, an emergency situation. So it really became the game of how do we create reasons for people to give? How do we get a story from a nonprofit and make it into like a very moving piece of copywriting, of video or whatever type we're using each time, to make people feel like, okay, they really need this, so I better help.
So you started creating wildfires?
Not yet.
We need reasons to give. That's why they're moving to California. They got lights of fires.
All of our friends are telling us that. Like whenever we tell them when things are tough, come on, we can go out and start a fire and you solve your problem. But no, actually in Greece, the situation is kind of practical because every week a wildfire spreads out. We really have a big problem with that. So, and in fact, during the wildfires, we had the biggest peak in donations ever last year. Like in 2 days, we managed to get more than 15,000 worth of goods to firefighters, people affected by the wildfires. So this has really proven to be a good way to help when something like this happens, and it happens without us having to start it.
Well, good. Well, as we wrap here, our last question is a hack. Or a tool or a habit or something you want to share with others, and I can go first. Do you know Handshake for hiring, Taylor?
No.
Handshake. We're hiring now, and all the hiring platforms lead to a ton of spam and not Handshake though. Handshake is so good. They partner with each individual school. So this is more for fairly recent graduates. Some people in their 20s, I'd say, but they are very good at targeting people that, like, for instance, have a master's in health administration, which is like a fit for us, and just like a very, very good targeting, at least to less spam. And we've had a lot of luck with it.
You're using this to find the people?
Yeah, to find the people and then, do the outreach and lead to hiring.
Huh. How much is it?
It's pretty cheap, and then you can add extra to promote it. So then they have an AI that starts outbounding, messaging people that fit your target. So their AI is going to be like, oh, hey, there's this job you might be interested in. And it looks like it's coming from me. So a lot of students are like, oh, thanks for reaching out. And then I can go from there if they apply.
Wow. That's cool. All right. Mine is I added a countdown timer to my home screen. I can't share what it's counting down to. Or Flavio knows what it is, but so I'll hide it. But basically on my lock screen, it says how many days do I have until this event is finished. I have 357 days. But so every day, every time I lock my phone, when I look down at my phone, it's right there. And so I know, so it could be, until you until you leave Greece,
San Francisco.
Right? Hey,
there we go.
How many days until San Francisco? So it could do days, it could do hours. Days made more sense for me. There are several apps that do this. I just had the idea and asked ChatGPT. I guess my other hack is that instead of Googling things, I've been using ChatGPT more, specifically O3. ChatGPT 5 is going to be announced in 14 minutes. The announcement's at 10 a.m. Pacific time. But I think that they've done the worst job of version management of any software platform right now, because O3 is actually the most advanced ChatGPT model, despite there being 4.0. It's not, yeah. And the reason you can figure this out is if you go look at how much tokens are, O3 is 10 times the cost of 4.0. So O3 is the one you want to use. and nobody uses it because they think it's like the old model, but it's the best one anyway. So things I used to ask Google, I'm now asking ChatGPT 50 times a day. And so this was one of them, right? It's like, hey, I want this countdown timer on my phone. And it was like, oh, you should use this app. And it was perfect.
Wait, so it's 5.0 not going to be better than the 03?
That's a great question. That's what I want to find out in 13 minutes because 4.0 was faster. That was the pitch, that it was faster. But the output is actually not as good, right? So 03 has, like, you can watch it think, and it does, really stupid thinking.
What about you guys?
Panos go first because he's a freak on tools and he's just like so many. You need to look at his laptop when he's working.
Greek freak.
So you asked about the habit as well, and I want to say like in the last month I've been reading a lot a book called Essentialism. Which mentions a lot that we're moving from a distraction age to a disorientation age with lots of tools going on and lots of life hacks going on as well and all this information to us. So a habit that really helps me is lately journaling, which helps me like every day, like write down my thoughts, focus, and actually understand what really matters to me. Because in this disorientation age, it's easy to distract yourself and easy to like go for all the tools like every day and try to become a little bit better on something that doesn't really matter in the end. So it's good to journal, reflect, and understand if these align with your values and priorities and missions. And I think it has helped me a lot.
I have a tool and a stupid one. I'm going to go with the tool first. It's kind of becoming like popular, but have you heard of Gather?
No, what's that?
So Gather is a virtual office space. You can go join, have your own desk virtually, and then your whole team has their desks as well. You can really go to other desks, screen people. You can join quick meetings, and it's been really, really helpful for remote work because you feel like the team is working and you see them in their desks and you can go ask anything. You don't have to phone anyone in your team for small things, or if you need to align 4 people, you can just go around the desks, bring it all together in a small space and discuss it all virtually. So it's really helped me, manage the team and help everyone be aligned with where we're going to. That's the actual practical one. And something else which might sound stupid, but it really has helped me out in focusing before I start like something intense is I did 2 things. The first is I play this game where you guess the flags. I've heard of it. Have you heard of? Yeah, it's like you have all of the flags of the world and you just start guessing. It throws up flags and you type up the names. I've learned all of the flags of the world right now, but it really helps me focus before I start like something intense. It really helps me get my mind in the right shape to face thought intensive stuff.
That's very impressive.
Wait, before you start work, you quiz yourself on flags before work?
I don't need my head on this focused place on every task, but yeah, in the most thought intensive ones, it's really, really helping me out.
I think you're going to get into YC.
That's what you got to put in the application, man.
You got to say that. You got to say that part. Before I want to focus, I show randomly, really quickly, for 1 millisecond, a flag, and I got to guess it. And if not, then I go sit at my own table and I gather at Flap.
And I understand my productivity when I can guess them. Like I time myself. So I have all the flags, and when I do it in 9 minutes, I'm not in the right shape. I do it in 8 minutes, I'm ready to go.
You got to put that at the top of the application.
Next step is to do a Rubik's Cube while you're doing it too.
Underneath the table, I can't see it.
Well, Antonis, Panos, you guys are destined for success. I'm glad we got you early on so we can look back at this a little down the road. So good luck moving to San Francisco and appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you for rocking with the homies. Taylor, Trusty, and Flavio. Seize the day, own it. Until next time, hold it down, hold it down. Hey.